Hey everybody, welcome to Tigner Adventures. My name is David, and today we are going to be talking about three things that really are important when it comes to trip planning. We have met a lot of people as we've traveled over our last 8 years of being full-time, and it's interesting how some people say, oh, I don't ever plan anything or whatever. The way I kind of look at it, like if you are, putting anything together, wanting to do anything, if you don't plan, then the old saying, if you don't plan, then you plan to fail. Is that what it is? Because there's so much to a trip and there's so many things that we can do and have fun. And if you are not planning it out, then there's a lot of things that you're going to be missing. So now if you're just going out and you're just going to do a little trip that's you do all the time, from point A to point B all the time, you go camping, whatever, then you don't need to plan. Whatever, who cares, But in our particular case, we have been on the road now for 8 years and we are full time. So we travel all around and we want to see different things, and we never see everything anyway. When we're visiting different places, but we want to see as much as we can while we are there. And so to do that, we utilize a program. So this is number one, is your planning portion of it. We use a program called Trip Wizard from RV Life. And the reason we do that is so that we can map out our trip. And RV Life makes it so simple to kind of coordinate everything and keep track of it all. That is the reason that we actually use it. So if you look here, you can see this is our calendar or our map of what we're doing this summer. This is our summer 2025 trip. Now, this is a backup of it because it has changed, and that's what happens. Things always change, and because of that, the Trip Wizard makes it so simple to make different changes and things without too much of an effort. So if you look right here, over on the side over here, and let's just kind of click on here so we get these highlighted. You can see kind of them jumping around. We were in Yellowstone, and then we moved up to, we're currently in Bozeman, Montana. Well, from Bozeman, we were going to head up to Glacier National Park. So if any of you have been watching any of our other videos, you'll know that when we were in Yellowstone, we received 5 inches of snow on actually a couple different days there while we're at the park. And so that got us thinking that, we are going up to Glacier National Park, and we wanted to do Road to the Sun. And we've never done that before. The last time we were there, it was COVID, and they had it all closed off, and they wouldn't let us in there. So we wanted to do that. Well, when I started checking into it a little bit, come to find out that is not going to be open for at least another 2 weeks. So I went in here to the map, and you can see that I was all the way up there. We had a bunch of harvest hosts set up here. We were going to stay at all the way up through Kalispell and then work our way over into Washington to 1,000 Trails. Well, because the Road to the Sun is still closed, we decided we're just going to delete that all off. So with the wave of a hand, we just did a delete of all those different sites that were up in here going to Kalispell. And now we're going straight from Bozeman all the way through Missoula. We actually are going to stay at a Cracker Barrel here and then for one night, and then we're going to go up to the 1,000 Trails that we were planning on being at a few more days down the road. Now we're just going to end up staying there a little longer than we had originally planned. And that's what's so nice about Trip Wizard, is that we can modify this map all summer long as we go through here. So if you'll notice over here on the bottom right, our trip is going to be a total of 4,200 miles this summer. That's just estimate, right? Because things keep changing. And these are all the different stops that we're staying at. So if I show our entire map, this is our summer map right here. And so by utilizing something like Trip Wizard that's dedicated to taking care of your routing for your RV, it's based on your height, weight, length, and whether you're carrying propane and things like that, to make sure that we have a safe route that we can go through. it takes all the worries out of our trip, and we put everything in here. So now, if you haven't heard of TripWizard before, or if you're new to TripWizard, we do have a playlist right here that has a ton of videos that we've done over the last few years on how to use TripWizard and what it's all about. So you can go out there and look at those, watch those and everything. But if you get to the point where you decide, you know what, I really want to use this software just like we do. It's a subscription-based service. It's $65 a year. You can use this particular QR code. If you just click on that, or take a picture of that, you can go to TripWizard, RVlife.com, and it'll take you there, and you can sign up and you'll get 25% off your first year. So that works out really nice for you. We do get a little bit from that, so we do appreciate the support. That's why we do all these videos, is to help people out. And so if you can help us by supporting us in that method, that works out great. It's not required, but we do appreciate that. And they don't sponsor our videos. We are just doing this because we want to make sure that people, we love this software so much, we want to help people actually use it and have a lot of fun just like we have. And I've got to the point now, I plan everything out way more than I ever did in my life, because it's so simple to use and it's fun to see where we're going to go, and we can kind of dream and figure out different things, because we can come up with tentative plans, we can come up with whatever, we figure it all out. So if you like that, check it out, and if not, if you already have it, great. Hopefully I'll be able to give you some little pointers in today's video to help you out a little bit, and to use that software. So one thing I can say about it, man, there are some big changes coming down the line with this software. Once you sign up, you can actually, if you look up here at the top, you can say, take a peek of our future designs. And if you look at, click on that, it opens that all up, and now you're using their new stuff, and it is pretty exciting. There's a lot to it. I'm going to be doing a whole different video, just start on that type of stuff. It's going to take me a little bit to kind of figure out some of the things on there. And, it's still in the new stages. This is, like they say, future designs. So they're putting a lot of different things in there, but it's pretty exciting. So if you have never done anything with trip planning before, then this is the time to definitely get involved with that. And I've mentioned this in several of my videos before, that we belong to, we're subscribed to a whole bunch of different mapping places out there. And there's nobody that even comes close to this as far as we're concerned. That's why we keep going with these guys. So, and once you sign up, that price never goes up. So for life, as long as you set it up for auto renew, then starting the second year and continuing on from there, it'll only be $65 a year. And $65 is hardly anything for all the suite of products that you get here, because you get campground reviews, you get a GPS routing piece that we'll talk about a little bit later. And, you get a lot of other maintenance items and things like that. It's a whole suite of products for that $65. Okay, so that's number one. So number two, what is number two? Well, when you are planning out your trip and trying to figure out different things, we always talk about quirkies. We put everything in our map. We put our gas stops in there. We put in there any quirky things we have, friends we're going to go visit, whatever. They all get added into our map. And so one of the things that we do for quirky stops is that we'll actually take and go out to our web browser, and we'll just type quirky whatever, wherever we're at. Quirky, in this case, we're in Montana, quirky Montana, quirky Bozeman, whatever, to kind of come up with some of the top things that you can do in that particular area. In previous videos, I have showed you different apps that we use in conjunction with that quirky search that we do to find different things, find camp spots, find whatevers. I've showed those apps in our previous videos that's in this series of question answers. The one that I want to show you today, because last month Alpha Ghost made a comment, was asking about different apps that we can use to figure out things to to go with a large RV, Class A RV. Well, that got me thinking a little bit, because there's another program that I use quite often, and that is called All Stays. And just recently in this year, they've gone back and they've been revamping All Stays, and they've made it a whole new product that is just pretty exciting what it actually offers. They have a ton, thousands and thousands of data points that RV Life doesn't necessarily have. I mean, some things are duplicated for sure, but they have a lot of things in there. For example, if I'm going to go and look for propane, I can just bring it up here on my app, All Stays app on my phone, and I can zoom into the area that I'm at, and it will start showing me all the things available in that particular area. So I use it quite often to find propane fill-up areas, because nobody else really that I know of, offers that. But besides that, they do have all these other things like Walmarts and things like that. So one of the cool things about this particular app is that it shows you those things, and when you click on them here, then you can see that there's comments that talk about those particular the item that you chose there. So in this particular case, it's saying that this Walmart will accept, the last time it accepted, people staying there, they allowed it. And then if we go over to this other one, this is another example of one. This one says, they don't allow people to stay overnight. So, I mean, you're going to want to call ahead of time anyway, just to verify it and everything. But it's just got all these different things here that are available to you. So, it works really well hand in hand with TripWizard as far as figuring out your different stops. Now, TripWizard has camping built in. It's very solid on that, other than it doesn't do dispersed camping as well, but it has a lot of this other stuff in there pretty good. But you can find out more information with All Stays, or you can maybe find something there that's not. I mean, they're two different companies. They're offering two different sets of data. And so it's just another method that allows you to go out there and search for things and find those quirky things, find those other extra camping places that maybe others don't see all the time. It's just a pretty cool thing. So my number 2 on this is utilizing the apps and things and the internet to find out all the things that's available for you to add into your TripWizard map. I mean, that's the whole purpose of it, and is to kind of track this whole thing. So when we are dealing with that whole with the whole plan, it's good to get as much in there as possible. That leads us to step number 3, the last one, and that is another app. And this is the RV Life app, which will run on your phone or tablet, anything that has a SIM card or cell phone card, whatever, that allows you to get GPS coordinates. What that does is it turns your phone or tablet into a GPS navigation device. And so the cool thing about that is, if you look here on the phone, is that you are actually, you can bring up your exact trip that you had planned. So I had my summer 2025 trip set up here. I can bring that up and I see all the places that I want to go. And the coolest thing, the reason I like this, is because when travel day comes, so we're leaving tomorrow to go on our, continue on our trip, then when I pull it up on, the trip on my phone, then it automatically gives me a list based on the date that it physically is. So like right now, it's not this date, but normally if this is an actual travel day, then all the things that are listed here are just those places that we're going today. So what a great way to start out your trip. You're looking at that. It automatically has everything that you found, every little thing that you've researched and everything over whatever time frame, you know, preparing for this trip, is all listed right here, so that when I get up in the morning and we're ready to leave, we get everything all put away. I pull up the map and it says, you know what? The first place we're going to go is here. And then the next place is here. And it's just all laid out for the day. We don't have to worry about it. And that's really important on fuel days, especially right now. Our fuel, we hold 150 gallons. So we travel around 12 or 1,300 miles before we have to actually, you know, fuel up. Well, you can kind of start forgetting about fueling up because it's been so long, you know. Sometimes it's a month before we have to fuel up again. So it's nice to be able to have it come right up here on the map, because within the software here, if we look at TripWizard right here, for example, when we leave Bozeman, Montana right here, we are headed up here towards Missoula. And you'll notice that we're staying at this Cracker Barrel for a night. But one thing that we're doing here is we're going to fuel up at this Love Station. Now, one of the reasons we're fueling up at this Love Station is because, for one thing, fuel there is $1, almost identically $1 cheaper there than it is when we go into Washington, into Spokane. So because of that, we're going to fill up here and make sure our tank's all topped off before we go into the state of Washington, so we don't have to worry about that price. And that's one of the cool things about this trip planning software, is it allows us to figure out how far we can go about and start looking for those gas stations ahead of time, so that we don't you know, have to spend extra money if we don't have to. And the cool thing about this app that's on your phone, that's turned your phone into a GPS now, is that it's all listed right there. And a lot of people say, oh, well, I like using my whatever. Well, that's fine, but here it's all automatic. You create the trip and then put it on the map and everything, and it's there. When I pull it up on my phone, it's all there. I don't have to export it to some other GPS or whatever else, you know, however I'm doing everything. It's just all right here. So because of that simplicity, life is a lot simpler because of that. So anyway, that's the three main pieces that I think is very, very important when it comes to trip planning. I wanted to bring that up to you guys just to kind of show you where that's going. Also kind of introduce to you, just for, you know, a quick second, just talk about it, but is that all the changes that are coming down the pike for RV life. And you know, just to kind of get you prepared, because this will be, we're not going to be, I haven't been getting a lot of responses on question and answers. So this will probably be my last question answer per se video that's specifically based on those kinds of things. If I get a bunch, then I may make one later. But I'm going to be doing a section now that's just talking about all these new changes, because I mean, it is exciting. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of things that we've been asking for, you've been asking for, whatever, they're showing up in here. And so that's pretty exciting. So that's definitely well worth it. And again, you know, if you don't have subscription to RV Life, you know, check out this QR code. It does have a 7-day free trial, and you get 25% off. And some people say 7 days isn't enough to figure it all out. I tell you the truth, man, I only needed 1 day, and I knew it was the best thing out there. And this was 7 years ago when we got it. So I knew. But if you're kind of on the fence and you don't know, then check out all of our playlists of all of our videos that we have, because we have a number of videos. We show you how we create all of our trips and do all the planning and go in complete detail as to how this all breaks down and everything. So then you can kind of get a little bit better idea how the software actually works and that subscription-based system works. Because some people just, they say, it's very complicated. Well, it's really only as complicated as you make it. And let me tell you, I make it about as complicated as you can make it, because we have everything in there. If you look at this trip that we did last year, 14,000 miles, I mean, we had everything in there. Every one of our quirky stops, every one of our fuel stations, every one of our overnight stays. We went clear up into Canada, all the way over to Nova Scotia. So this software works in any place in the American continent. So any place in Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. So it's there. It's for you. So anyway, so check it out. Anyway, thanks for coming along with me. Appreciate your time. And hopefully this is helpful to you. And we'll just plan on seeing you with some of these new changes coming down the road. This is going to be darn exciting. I'm pretty exciting. I mean, just a little hint here. How about the elevation? Man, that's a major change. I'm pretty excited about that alone. So anyway, take care. We'll see you down the road. Bye.